Alright guys, we finally got the much anticipated Scream 6 trailer, and I want to talk about all of it. Let's get into it. Alright, so I was totally satisfied after watching the teaser, and I think that teaser did a perfect job at doing exactly what it was supposed to do, which is get me excited and pumped for this movie. But even though I was perfectly satisfied with that teaser, I got even more pumped after watching this trailer. Never before in my life, at least not that I can recall off the top of my head, have I needed something so much out of a movie and not known until I got it. Guys, Ghostface with a freaking shotgun. On paper, I imagine this probably sounded pretty stupid because just thinking about it, like without having the visual, it sounds completely stupid and like something I never want to see in a slasher movie. But this trailer has single-handedly changed my mind. And the next big thing I want to talk about is the New York setting. Holy cow. I already was completely on board with this concept from the moment I heard about it, and after watching that teaser, I was even more optimistic about it. But after seeing Ghostface in that store taking out all those people in public and just being a complete machine, I am officially 100% sold on this movie. Which could be a very good thing, but also has potential to be a very bad thing because I'm on a very big high with this movie right now. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much, and usually I'm pretty good at tempering my expectations, but so far everything about this movie that we know has just been firing on all cylinders. But the downside of having your hopes up and being on such a high with any movie is if it doesn't deliver, you take it harder and it's a much bigger disappointment. On paper, though, everything about this movie is working for me. The New York setting, the casting, and now this trailer. And another thing which has been a big deal for me and something that I've been wanting to see since part 4 is for them to really start closing out the chapters on our legacy characters and move forward and focus on these new characters. We know Sidney is not going to be in this movie, and Dewey died in the last movie. We still have Gail, and honestly, I'd be totally fine with it if they just left her in these movies as sort of the mentor to the new cast, as long as it doesn't interfere with the rest of the story or take too much attention away from the new cast. I think that could work, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they kill her off in this movie. When I was watching the trailer, I was getting strong vibes that she won't make it through this time. But it's a Scream movie, so I'm never going to assume anything. But then we have Kirby. And I'm really not sure if I consider her a legacy character yet. We only got her in part 4, and as much as I loved her character, she really hasn't been explored that much, and I still think there's a lot that can be done with her, so I'm totally fine with it if she's a mainstay in these new movies. But these new characters in these movies actually have me excited for the future of Scream. Now, Scream 4 also had me excited, and I know that they did have some plans for like a trilogy or something after that movie if it had done well, but it didn't, and that entire idea got scrapped. But I am genuinely excited to see where things go. But they're doing what I wanted Halloween to do, and they're telling a good story that doesn't focus on characters we've already seen over and over again and exhausted. You can still utilize the legacies, which they're doing, but don't make them front and center. But another thing this trailer gave me incredibly high hopes for is that they're actually going to utilize that New York setting correctly. I mean, we have Ghostface seemingly taking out a store full of people right out in the open. And I know that's what people wanted to see out of Jason Takes Manhattan, but we just didn't get that in that movie. I mean, you talk about some seriously false advertising. It almost feels like Radio Silence heard all the criticisms for Jason Takes Manhattan and used it as a template on how to correctly make a New York slasher. Seriously, this is an untapped well of creative potential. There's just so many different things you can do creatively here. The filmmakers have carte blanche, and based on everything I've read and what I'm seeing in these trailers, they are capitalizing on the idea that New York is just so massive and there's just so much going on that so much gets missed and lost in all the noise and violence, and a lot of it just gets swept up under the rug. And so despite this city being so massive, it still feels very claustrophobic, which creates the perfect atmosphere and tone for a slasher movie. They definitely use some heavy trailer-esque dialogue here, though. It was coming from Ghostface and Sam. A lot of what was coming from Ghostface just seemed to be a lot of the same type of recycled dialogue that we got from Part 5. Just about how this time it's different and he's different than anything or anyone they've ever encountered. And obviously it's just used to hype you up for the movie, which I wouldn't expect any less. And honestly, it worked on me. I'm the sucker they were targeting. But we even got a lot from Sam in this trailer, and it's obvious they're not done exploring her character, and I like that they seem to be going in the direction of making her a morally ambiguous character that you're not supposed to be sure about. She seems kind of like the Anakin Skywalker of these movies. I know that's kind of a strange comparison to compare a Scream movie to a Star Wars movie, but it's not necessarily the movie itself, it's the themes they're using in the movie. She even uses the metaphor in the trailer that she has darkness in her, which is true, her being the daughter of Billy Loomis, of course. And as of right now, not knowing what they do with her character in Part 6 and only having Part 5 to go off of, I would say there's not a chance of her being evil, but then again, these are Scream movies, and whether or not they always succeed, they at least always try to give you the unexpected. So, you never know. And speaking of unexpected, another thing this trailer showed us was we finally, for the first time, get to see Gale have a call with Ghostface. And what's funny is it only recently occurred to me after watching a YouTube video that she has never had a phone call with Ghostface, and that's just crazy. Which is also one of the reasons I think she might finally die in this movie. For one, it would be kind of poetic because, you know, Dewey died in the last movie, but also because it's like you're finally giving us a phone call with her. It feels like this could be her swan song, if that makes sense. Like, here you go, we're giving you something you've never seen before, and now she's dead. Yeah, I could totally see them doing that. And honestly, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I know inevitably there would be people who would not like that decision, but I would absolutely be okay with that. But then again, I could be overthinking all of this, but that's what I love about Scream films, probably more than any other franchise. You can make all these theory and prediction videos and discuss them, and have a blast doing it. And one last thing I want to mention that this trailer showed us is a scene that may actually give some merit to the theory that they're going to be pulling elements from Kevin Williamson's original Scream 3 script that got tossed. In that script, there was essentially a Ghostface cult being ran by none other than Stu Macher from prison. And if they really are extracting elements from that script, then that gives merit to the theory that Stu may actually return. I suppose this trailer probably gave a lot of people hope and made them very happy. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the trailer. I'd love to hear all of your theories and predictions, so let's meet down in the comments section and discuss it. Or you can find me on any of my socials, which are in the video descriptions of all my videos. And in the meantime, go ahead and like and share this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.